We are taking the multiple choice questions, that is the MCQ in artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is about. So what does this AI or artificial intelligence means? As the name is suggesting, artificial, that is not natural, intelligence, what we have, what people have. So making a machine intelligent, that is, answer is B. So this artificial intelligence is a proper branch of computer science now, and the aim of this branch is to create intelligent machines, intelligent robot, intelligent computers, intelligent gadgets. The way human thinks, the same way the machine can also think. Who is known as the father of AI? Father of AI. So the father of AI, actually he was the pioneer, he coined this word, and he has a lot of contribution. The answer is John McCarthy. So he is one of the founding fathers of artificial intelligence, and along with him there were many other contributors, Marvin Minsky, Alan Neville, Herbert A. Simon. So there was a conference in Dartmouth in summer 1956. Actually, the word was already there from 1955, but it was formally being presented, and as a branch of study, this artificial intelligence came into being. Select the most appropriate situation. For that, a blind search can be used. So as the name is suggesting, it is a blind search. The answer is small search space. So this is an uninformed search. Blind search is uninformed search. That is, it does not contain any domain information like the closeness, location of the goal. That is, if you want to search something, there is no information. Okay. So the most appropriate situation that can be used for the blind search is small search space. Because you have no clue whether one non-goal state is better than any other. The search is absolutely blind. You don't know if your current exploration is going to be fruitful or it will not yield any result. Right? So the answer here is small search space. The application or applications of artificial intelligence is R. So what are all the applications? All of these are the answer. Automobiles, business, education, finance, manufacturing, gaming, government, healthcare. So if you see here, the expert system, gaming, vision system, all are here. So there are so many fields where still the research is going on, and those fields will also be included shortly. Among the given options, which search algorithm requires less memory? Search is basically finding an entity or an element. So this is depth first search. Depth first search. There are two kinds of search which are talked simultaneously. Depth first search and breadth first search. In depth first search, we traverse through left subtree first, then traverse through the right subtree, and then we go up till the finest, lowest subtree. This is depth first search. Now here, we are only keeping those which are required. That is, the depth search along or algorithm requires very less memory, as it only stores the stack of nodes from the root node to the final node, that is current node. If a robot is able to change its own trajectory as per the external conditions, then the robot is considered as the. Now you have made the robot learn, and now the robot is able to find out that there is something in front of a robot. So it can by itself change the trajectory. That means it is an intelligent. So answer is D. So smart robot means it has intelligent programming, it has gesture sensing capabilities. There are other things also, like popular science teaching has been done with the robot. Song dance it can do, automatic presentation. So if the robot is able to change its trajectory as per the external condition, then the robot is considered intelligent. So these are agents. Such type of agent come under the category of AI agents or rational agents. Which of the given language is not commonly used for AI? Lisp, Prolog and Python, they are used heavily. Nowadays Python. But Perl is for something different. Means this is not made for this purpose. So the programming language in AI, that is machine learning, R programming, C++, Haskell, JavaScript to a certain extent, Julia, Java and Python. So these are coming here. So Perl is not commonly used. A technique that was developed to determine whether a machine could or could not demonstrate the artificial intelligence known as the. So now here we have to talk about Mr. Alan Turing. The answer is Turing test B. So try to understand. Alan Turing in 1950, he asked a question. Can a machine think? So at that time he asked the question which we are still answering. Okay. And actually he gave this thought or idea in his seminal paper. That is the most important kind of paper or work. So he created a Turing test. It's a very simple test. That is a machine, whether it can be a machine, it can be a cardboard, it can be anything. Whether they can say something, they can think and say. We don't know because we don't know how they speak. We don't understand their language. Because people can say, then only we can think that, okay, these are intelligent people. So as I said, in 1950, mathematician and computer pioneer Alan Turing, he introduced a test in order to determine whether a machine can think like a human or not. In seminal paper, which means it can demonstrate intelligence. And this was termed as Turing test. So it was based on the imitation game with certain modification. And this is still in measuring successful AI projects. So here, the human questioner asks a series of questions to both respondents. One can be a computer, one can be a human. So because the human questioner doesn't know that who is going to respond. And then you can very well understand whether machine can think or not. The component of an expert system. So, you can say the AI has come from expert system, or expert system were the initial AIs, artificial intelligence, like the chat box. You might have heard about Eliza. Because if you go to some, say, ticket booking or any banking, you'll always find the chatbot. So these were there, these are still there, but there is an expert system with different components. So a user is there. Now he wants to talk to a doctor. Now there is no doctor, but a machine. So there will be a human expert, then a knowledge engineer, a knowledge base will be made, and an inference engine and the user interface. So now the user can interact with a human expert without human expert being there, just a machine. Okay. So this is how the expert system is a part of an AI and a computer program that is used to solve the complex problems and to give the decision making ability like humans. And these are the different parts which I showed you here, or you can call them as the components of an expert system. Okay. So knowledge base, inference engine, user interface. Which algorithm is used in the game tree to make decisions of win and lose? So game tree is all about, thought about two people. Tic-tac-toe and chess. And you might have heard about IBM Watson. IBM Watson actually defeated Garry Kasparov. He was then the world chess champion. So the answer here is min-max algorithm. So this is a min-max picture. This is a game tree. This nodes represent the position in the game. and the edges are representing the moves. So in order to make any decision, the game trees uses the min-max algorithm. So one is max, one is minimum. Max is you and min is a machine, say. Now max means you want to maximize the profit. That is, you want to do something or the action so that you get profit. For example, if the two nodes have 5 or 2, you always want 5. But the min would want that you always get 2, because this is the other party, this is the adversary playing along with you. So he will do everything so that you get 2, not 5. You want 5. So this is the basic idea of the min-max algorithm, right? And there is one more proliferated, or you can say clean type of algorithm, which we'll talk about in the next question. The available ways to solve a problem of state space search. So this first is this one and second one is this one. So there are two ways. So the first is it allows for a formal definition of a problem as a need to convert some given situation into some desired situation using a set of permissible operation. So let me tell you again, with the availability of whatever is permitted, this is how the definition of problem is being made, and then convert some given situation into some desired situation. And then second is, it permits us to define the process of solving a particular problem from one state to another, which is a good state. Among the given options, which is not the required property of knowledge representation. So in terms of knowledge representation, knowledge is what we have, we learn, we gain, we gather, and how to represent it. So there is a slight, you can say a slight difference in the different kind of knowledge representation, which is C. So C is the correct answer, which is wrong. Means it is not. So representational adequacy, inferential efficiency, acquisitional efficiency. So the first one is ability to represent the knowledge. Inferential is you can infer through that knowledge. It should be efficient, that is inferential efficiency. And then acquisitional efficiency, that is we can use it for some purpose. So the answer is representational verification. In AI agent perceive, an AI agent perceives and act upon the environment using. So an AI agent is this picture you will see again and again. Here is an AI agent. He is not a human, but a machine acting as a human. And there is an environment. So for a human, he has eyes and sensors, different sensing body parts. The agent also has sensors, so it perceive, it can touch, it can see the gestures, and then it will take actions with the use of effectors. Effectors can be hand and leg, etc. So an AI agent perceives and acts upon the environment using the answer is both A and C, which is sensors and actuators. Which rule is applied for the simple reflex agent? So when we say reflex, means what you do without even thinking, you have that reflex. If someone come in front of you while you are driving a car, either you'll stop or you'll take a turn. Means this is how you reflex. So this will go with condition action rule. So the simple reflex agent takes a decision only on the current condition and acts accordingly. It ignores the rest of history, hence it follows the condition act rule or condition action rule. So this is the state, that is say how the world evolved or what the world is like now, what my actions do. These are condition action. Which agent deals with the happy and unhappy state? So an agent will be happy or unhappy state. That is, if it does something good, happy, otherwise unhappy. So there will be utility. Utility based agent is the answer. So utility based agent uses an extra component of utility that provides a measure of success at a given state. It decides that how efficient that state to achieve that goal, which specifies the happiness of the agent, otherwise there will be unhappiness. I hope you got the idea. There is an extra component of utility in utility based agent, making it happy or unhappy for a particular state. Rational agent always does the right things. Rational, the word itself says logic, doing everything with the thoughts. So rational agent has a clear preference, goal and act in a way to maximize its performance. It is said that it always does the right things, which means it gives the best performance for each action. Which term describes the common sense of judgmental part of problem solving? So whenever the problem is being presented to you, the most easy way is to use the common sense, and that is the judgmental part, which is the heuristic. That is, whenever we have a work, we complete it. It may not be optimal, but still in the time bound period you have completed it. That is through heuristic. That is, common uses of this heuristic is reducing the mental effort needed to make decision, simplify complex and difficult questions, and they are fast and accurate way to derive at a conclusion and help with problem solving. Which AI technique enables the computer to understand the association and relationship between objects and events? Let me give an example. These are two faces. Everything is same. Just assume everything is same. Only the lips. One is like this, one is like this. Now, as a human, you will easily say one is happy, one is unhappy. Easily you can say. So these are patterns. This is how you match the pattern and find out the inferences. I'll give an example also. This is a text. There is a pattern AABA in this text. So in order to find or match this pattern, this is AABA matched. This is AABA matched. Again AABA is matched. But all these matching is done with the reference of association, because how these different letters are associated and how is the relationship between them. It has B cannot come in front of 2A. The exploration problem is where? The question is exploration. That is, if you are left somewhere, you don't know anything about that place, then you will explore. That is, if you are being told in an alien place, then you will explore. You will find out the place, you will ask people, all this will be done. Okay. So agent does not contain knowledge, state and actions. The answer is B here. Agent doesn't know anything. That is, if you talk about the problem types, when we have unknown state space, then we employ this exploration. We categorize this as an exploration problem. This is the answer. In the Wampus world problem, the reason for the uncertainty is that the agent sensor gives only. So the answer is partial and local information. How it is? See, here is an agent. That is, you can call it as a robot also. Now this is an example of environment there will be. So there will be pit, treasure, some breeze, stench. So this is the environment made up of a grid of squares surrounded by walls. So there is uncertainty. Each square can have agents or objects. So the partial and local information is meaning the word is used to demonstrate the worth of knowledge-based agent and the knowledge representation. So in the environment, uncertainty arises as the agent can only perceive the closed environment. That is, it has only partial and local information. The search algorithm, which is similar to the mini-max search but remove the branches that don't affect the final output, is known as. So we just talked about Minimax search, and I told you there is a improved version, you can say, of Minimax search, that is the alpha beta pruning. So in this alpha beta pruning, same thing is done as Minimax search, but it will see first whether we have to take this node or not. Because if this node, certain node, is not affecting the final decision, so we just don't take that particular node or even that subtree. We can even leave that subtree. So alpha beta pruning algorithm is the modified version of Minimax algorithm and returns the same moves as the original algorithm, but it removes all those node branches that do not affect the final decision, which is not required, is not being catered. This is alpha beta pruning. The maximum depth to which the alpha beta pruning can be applied. So the answer here is any depth. As I said, you can even leave a whole subtree. In Minimax, this alpha beta pruning can be applied to any depth of the tree and it can eliminate the entire subtree if it is not affecting the final decision. Answer is any depth. Among the given options, which is also known as inference rule, the answer is resolution. If someone says, I don't have money, what inferences will you draw? He really don't have any money, or he is asking me money, or maybe he will not get money for some near future. These are inferences. So among the given options, which also known as is inference rule, is the resolution also. This is the resolution. Okay. So I've given this resolution rule also. So this is how we can apply the resolution rule and we can infer or we can get some inferences. So this is also known as inference rule, as it shows the complete inference rule when applied to any search algorithm. Now this question we are going to take in the next discussion. We'll be taking around 55 plus questions. So till then, thank you so much. Take care of yourself.